The pure white dawn, like the morning dew awaiting the sun's warmth, gently illuminated the shattered void. That is, at this moment, the excited cheers of countless humans suddenly halted. Their gazes slowly shifted toward the pure white flame rising from below the horizon. I'll stop her. As this anomaly appeared, the starry patterns on Lin Yunshu's forehead surged once more. Countless stars clustered together, making her appear like a goddess of the starry sky, standing proudly at the edge of the horizon. Tianxing Emperor, you two go back and help protect the innocent humans. She's coming for me. A bitter smile appeared at the corner of Xiao Yan's lips. Little one, though I am not a saint, I can still tell right from wrong. The emperor spoke, and his aura, at the level of a half-step 8-star Do Xian, descended from the sky, covering most of the void. As they spoke, the pure white flame beneath the horizon suddenly split into 5 streams. Moments later, the flame turned into arcs of fire, imbued with a mysterious power, rising from the horizon and converging toward the light barrier at the top of the sky. What kind of power is this? Even though Lin Yunshu was protected by the power of the stars, she was still shaken by the 5 arcs of white fire. Despite her vast experience, she had never seen such a magnificent force. Just the aura alone was enough to unsettle her mind. The 5 arcs of white fire slowly ascended, resembling unbreachable golden threads that seemed to imprison the entire sky. Here she comes after all. Xiao Yan furrowed his brow. As the 5 white arcs surged, the demonic blood within him stirred rapidly, and even the demonic soul shadow behind him emitted an aura of both fear and madness. Angels and demons were natural enemies. When foes met, their eyes were filled with intense hatred. You all go back and protect the people, Xiao Yan said, his eyes still locked on the lonely, graceful figure below the horizon. But she's an angel. Lin Yunshu couldn't help but redden her beautiful eyes, forcibly holding back tears as she spoke. The word angel had already become a symbol of punishment in the great thousand worlds. Once angels took action, it was clear that only a reincarnation-level powerhouse could intervene, or the consequences would be dire. And now, the core region of the Tianxing continent had been sealed off by this being. Humans trapped within the light barrier were like lambs awaiting slaughter. Don't worry, I knew this would happen ever since the demon nest incident. It's just the right time to test which is stronger, demons or angels. Xiao Yan finished speaking, exerting great force to send the others underground. In the sky, the angel's figure slowly emerged. A pair of pure white angelic wings gently flapped, lifting her into the air, seemingly proclaiming her status to the world. An angel. In the great thousand worlds, angels were nearly synonymous with divine executioners. Once targeted by them, no one was free from their judgment. An angel? How could an angel be here? Look at her presence. She seems to be targeting Lord Xiao Yan. But Lord Xiao Yan just wiped out Soul Hall experts and that demonic servant, dismantling the true threat to our Tianxing continent. How could he possibly be a sinner? I don't believe it. Neither do I. Ordinary citizens, slowly being escorted by the Imperial Guard into underground shelters, glanced up at Xiao Yan and the angel, shaking their heads in disbelief. You filthy demon, coveting the fertile resources of Tianxing continent and causing such slaughter, do you not know your sins? White flames of light surrounded Meikar, and a high, sacred Buddhist chant resonated. At the top of the light barrier, the pure white flames slowly dissipated, revealing Meikar's delicate and beautiful face. In the void, her slender jade-like hand was surrounded by the holy dawn, with countless strands of light quietly curling around her. Her emaciated figure resembled a sheet of paper, with clear eyes as pure as an untainted spring. Her light, elegant white robe enhanced her divine aura to its fullest. Her angel wings, faintly visible behind her, further confirmed her identity. Do I know my sins? How would the patrolling angel judge my sins? What have I done wrong? The demonic Xiao Yan's eyes flashed with a hint of mockery, seemingly unafraid of Meikar. Instead, his tone was filled with disdain and contempt, as though trying to provoke the angel's dignity. I don't concern myself with other matters, but you have slain 2 angelic guards, and it is also reported that the messengers we sent to Tianxing continent perished at your hands. How do you explain that? Meikar was not in a hurry to act. Her beautiful white eyes seemed confident of victory. Though her power was at the early 8-star Docian stage, just like Xiao Yan's, she possessed angelic wings and mastered forbidden techniques. In fact, there's no need to come up with a legitimate excuse to strike down Xiao Yan. But doing so would cause a lot of trouble for the Holy See behind me. 2 of your angel guardians died at the hands of Sol Wuji. There are countless eyes watching. Meikar, are you blind? As for what you said about me killing the Holy See envoy, just having witnesses isn't enough. Who knows if it's just you playing mind games? Xiao Yan scoffed coldly. It seems like wasting words on you is just a waste of time. I had originally planned to use a legitimate excuse to bring you to justice, but now it looks like that's no longer necessary. Dirty souls deserve to be branded by light and whipped. As for this place, I'll just find some reason, and we can both fall here, completely obliterated. Meikar's sharp, beautiful eyes flickered with a golden light, making it impossible for anyone to look her directly in the eyes. The pressure from her aura, emanating from her status as an upper being, could easily crush an ordinary person to dust. Actually, I knew this day would come ever since the Devil's Nest. You intend to eliminate all the humans who know about the Devil's Nest and the demon fruit, right? You're just coveting and fearing this demonic power. You're nothing but a filthy creature, shamelessly calling yourself an angel. How disgraceful. Xiao Yan continued, with a mocking smile. You really are a sharp-tongued brat, but it doesn't matter. Because in a moment, you'll be a cold, rotten corpse. And this core circle of the Tianxing continent will also fall. All of this is because of you. Dirty demon Xiao Yan. Meikar's high-pitched voice echoed through the void, like an undeniable command. Let's do this. I'm actually curious. Among the Holy See, which claims to be closest to the gods in the Great Thousand Worlds, who will be superior in strength? The patrolling angel or the demon power within me? After a pause, Xiao Yan's expression twisted into a mocking grin, a laugh filled with arrogance and wickedness sweeping through the entire world. An angel? A messenger of the gods? An executioner walking the Great Thousand Worlds? In the end, they're nothing but demons dressed in angelic clothing. Earlier, in the Devil's Nest, Meikar had used power beyond limits to obliterate countless innocent lives. This time, Xiao Yan, the demon, would tear away her angelic disguise and see if her soul is truly as pure as her so-called angelic power. Is her soul pure or filthy? Since no one dares to fight against angels, I will lead the way. I will do what the world dares not do. I will personally slay the angel that the world dares not question. Strike! The angel and the demon seemed to move in sync, both retreating several thousand meters. Then, 2 vastly different forces erupted from their bodies, instantly splitting the entire light barrier in 2. Demon Xiao Yan was surrounded by demonic power, which had transformed from a dark green mist to pools of dark green liquid. Clearly, Xiao Yan didn't dare to be careless in the face of an angel. The dark green liquid, like a dark jade, slowly enveloped Xiao Yan, while behind him, the demonic soul shadow vanished, deeply imprinted into his skin. The liquid formed an extremely evil demon armor on Xiao Yan's body. The dark green demon armor armed Xiao Yan from head to toe, with strange patterns on it that seemed like a formation gathering energy, or like a bizarre living being. It was the demon, elevating Xiao Yan's evil aura to its peak. With the demon armor empowered by demonic power, Xiao Yan's strength surged, now not inferior to that of the angel. On the other side, Meikar's face was adorned with glowing patterns, and the pure white light around her grew more intense. With a murmur from her lips, it transformed into countless white threads, wrapping around and weaving together, forming a massive prison. The white threads emanated an extremely sacred yet burning aura, and any contact with demonic power would likely trigger a terrifying wave of energy. A light attribute prison? Underestimating me, huh? Looks like it's time to teach you angels a lesson. Xiao Yan smirked as he watched the expanding white thread prison behind Meikar. Whoosh! Whoosh! As Xiao Yan's voice fell, he suddenly pushed off from the void, charging directly toward Meikar. The void he stepped on shattered, turning into countless rifts in space. Light prison. Purify. Seeing Xiao Yan barreling toward her, Meikar smiled faintly, and a white Sanskrit pattern rippled from her palm. The cage of light stretched for miles, its countless holy white threads writhing, exuding an aura of divine, inviolable light that spread unmistakably. At this moment, Xiao Yan's body was clad in the demonic armor, which emitted a strange, otherworldly glow. His eyes radiated a rare, murderous intent as he shot toward the angel with incredible speed. The cage of light descended, perfectly blocking Xiao Yan's path through the void. The numerous white threads on the cage acted like heated branding irons, scorching and burning every time they made contact with Xiao Yan's body, releasing waves of white smoke. Crack! The cage of light bound Xiao Yan from all sides. Suddenly, he stopped, feeling the sharp sting of these holy white threads, each one infused with pain. That fiery pain was so intense that even Xiao Yan's very soul seemed to be shackled and suppressed. Let me, the patrolling angel Meikar, forever imprison you, this demonic heretic. Seeing Xiao Yan stand there like a bird in a cage, seemingly powerless to resist, Meikar's voice rang out in a high, purifying tone that reverberated through the already broken heavens above. The cage of light, spanning tens of thousands of feet, quickly enveloped Xiao Yan. The sacred white threads rushed toward him, and moments later, the cage constricted, transforming into a dense web of white strands that completely enveloped his body, leaving only his head exposed. It looked as though Xiao Yan had become a delicate, white garment, the demonic aura around him being crushed and purified. As Meikar finished speaking, the angel's wings behind her stirred. 5 streams of brilliant white flame appeared out of nowhere, transforming into 5 razor-sharp purification swords that silently crouched beside her. Is this all the mighty patrolling angel can do? Xiao Yan sneered coldly, his voice brimming with arrogance. Whoosh! As soon as he spoke, cracks began to spread across the white sacred armor formed by the cage of light, the sound of shattering ringing out. Crack! A wave of ink-green energy surged from Xiao Yan, spreading outward like a tide. As it appeared, the sacred white threads shuddered violently, disturbed by the dark energy. In the next moment, the cage of light shattered, the white threads scattering into fragments that fell from the sky. Meikar, seeing this, couldn't help but reveal a hint of confusion on her exquisitely beautiful face. The power of the cage of light was one of the most powerful sealing techniques in the light element, second only to forbidden arts. It could imprison even a mid-stage 8-star Do Xian, and with Meikar's angelic power added to it, its strength was such that even a true god would have to avoid its edge. Yet, a filthy demon had actually broken free from it, and was now looking at her with a mocking sneer. In that moment, Meikar felt insulted, and her expression darkened. The glory and sanctity of an angel were not to be violated or defiled. Swish! Meikar waved her delicate hand again, causing the 5 sacred purification swords to hum violently. They shot through the air like meteors, heading directly for the demon Xiao Yan. At this moment, the sky was split into 5 parts by the 5 purification swords. Even the space cracks were quietly swallowed up, losing all power beneath their divine might. The 5 swords, imbued with the most powerful purification energy, closed in silently on Xiao Yan. Yet, after breaking free from the cage of light, Xiao Yan paused as if deep in thought, showing no signs of defense or movement. He simply stood motionless in the void. Clang! Clang! Xiao Yan didn't resist, allowing the 5 swords to strike him. They were holy and overwhelming, constantly burning his skin, seemingly attempting to pierce his demonic armor and shatter him into pieces. The sharp metallic clashing noises filled the air, and Xiao Yan slowly closed his eyes, as though he were detached from the world. The blades of the 5 swords were incredibly sharp, their white glow emanating with true purification power. Every time Xiao Yan's demonic armor released a wave of ink-green demonic energy to defend itself, it was completely overwhelmed by the swords. The 5 sacred swords came from different directions, each aiming at Xiao. However, no matter how powerful the sacred aura on the swords was, they could not pierce Xiao's demonic armor nor cause him any harm. Encased by the 5 swords, Xiao appeared as a rebellious heretic, using his demonic power to resist the angel's punishment. He, below, Lin Yunshu, Ji Xian, and the other royal elites, who had escorted the innocent civilians to safety in an underground refuge, paused on a flat mountain ridge. Watching Xiao's figure in the sky, their voices grew hoarse. He's fighting for you. If he truly manages to end this battle, the Tianxing continent and our vassal, the Haohai continent, will all be united in the Boundless Fire Domain. The Boundless Fire Domain has such a promising young one. What is there to worry about? Looking at the proud figure of Xiao standing in the sky, the emperor's gaze softened. With his vast experience, he could naturally understand the immense potential of someone capable of facing an angel head-on. Your Majesty is wise. Hearing this, the high-ranking officials around him showed relieved expressions. They had fully pledged their loyalty to the emperor and princess, without any doubt about their commands. Xiao must win, Lin Yunshu whispered, her heart finally at ease. Her soft fist slowly clenched, and the intricate patterns on her forehead flickered with a faint glow. In the sky, an earth-shattering battle of legendary proportions raged on. Even the countless civilians taking refuge underground could sense a terrifying aura seeping through the thick walls, sending chills down their spines. In the void above, Mei Kar hesitated, gazing at Xiao's indestructible demon armor. No matter how divine and powerful the aura of the 5 holy swords was, they could not break through its defense. Mei Kar scanned the area, realizing it was now a desolate, empty wasteland. Her expression grew indifferent. Since they all feared her, there was no need to protect them anymore. Associating with demons, eradicating both the demons and the various evil forces under the name of the angel. This would be a crime well worth carrying. A smile blossomed on Mei Kar's face, as radiant as a flower. Yet there was a hidden meaning behind it. In an instant, her pure white angelic wings flared, and beams of holy light and divine flames gathered around her, lifting her into the air. Her destination, the place where the demon Xiao stood. At the same time, in the azure sky, countless warm white rays vibrated. A streak of white flame surrounded her, accompanied by the sacred sound that cleanses all things, creating a breathtaking brilliance above her, enveloping Mei Kar. Her aura as an untouchable angel reached its peak. Tired of the childish battles, Xiao suddenly opened his eyes. A domineering, arrogant demonic aura surged from him. Pu-chi. A clear sound echoed as Xiao's demon armor emitted a strange noise. Dark green liquid, like a raging demonic flame, burned around him. Then, countless demonic patterns spread across his hands, extending from the armor, and one hand lightly grasped one of the holy swords. Crack! Boom! 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 The arm covered in demonic patterns radiated an intense disdain for holy energy. With a swift motion, Xiao clenched his fist, and dark green demonic blood overflowed from his palm. The 5 holy flames shattered one by one, transforming into faint beams of light and dissolving under the overwhelming power of Xiao's demonic energy. His arms, wrapped in pieces of demon armor, released drops of dark green demonic blood that fell from the sky. Below, the blood that dripped from Xiao's hand caused several mountains to silently explode, turning to dust. The explosive aura emanating from the explosion was chillingly desolate and evil, like a scene from hell. The power of demons is nothing special. If this is all you have, then I fear that both you and everyone within the light barrier will fall today. Mei Kar's body radiated light, with white flames and her angelic wings flapping. Each step she took caused ripples to spread beneath her, like waves. The light barrier at the top of the sky trembled violently, as if resonating with Mei Kar. Suddenly, tiny light particles, the size of grains of beans, fell from the edge of the barrier, carrying a strange, ominous power. They cascaded like a torrential downpour. It felt as if the light barrier was a vast dam, and above it was an endless river of holiness, filled with a shocking power capable of turning the world upside down. At that moment, it seemed as if Maekar had opened the barrier, and the falling light particles contained an unstoppable power, rivaling the strength of the 5 holy swords. Still these little tricks? Xiao scoffed, looking up suddenly. His demon armor exploded with brilliant energy, wrapping him in a dark green aura. It was like steam, but more like a perfect protective shield formed by the operation of power. With this layer of evil steam surrounding him, Xiao would fear no light energy. Light dimension. A mere mortal dares to challenge the angels? With a loud whoosh, countless points of light from the light barrier descended, surrounding Xiao. In an instant, Xiao body and soul felt as though they had fallen into an unknown realm. There was no sign of life. Xiao had no idea where he was. He was completely alone, surrounded by an enormous, solemn palace. At that moment, the palace doors quietly creaked open, and a torrent of divine light, formed by countless holy points of light, surged forward, releasing its world-turning power. As soon as Xiao stepped into the palace, the overwhelming force of the soul made him realize that he was in a special space where the elements of space and light intertwined. Clearly, the patrolling angel was a powerful being who mastered both space and light attributes. Good. You've used 2 attributes. It means you're afraid. But after following Mar for so long, how could the demon's power be this weak? Looking at the immense, serene palace where a flood of light points surged in, Xiao ferocious laughter pierced through the sacred hall, striking at Maekar's nerves. What kind of colossal power did the demon hold? Maekar didn't know. However, from the moment she began researching Mar and the demons, she understood that the word demon represented absolute power, something entirely different from the strength Xiao was showing now. Naturally, she didn't think much of it, assuming that Xiao demonic power was incomplete. What she didn't realize was that Xiao had suppressed his demonic strength, fearing the backlash of the demon's power. Otherwise, someone like Maekar, if fully inheriting the demon's will, would have been slain in a single strike. Maekar shook her head, wondering why she was thinking about these things in the middle of battle. After all, she had the protection of the light attribute, and no soul power or illusion should affect her. So why was this happening? Was she afraid? She shook her head hard, trying to dismiss these thoughts. Then she summoned radiant golden arcs of white flame that descended once more to Xiao side. At this moment, Xiao felt like he was standing in a sacred hall built solely to judge demons. The hall was magnificent, yet devoid of any presence, like an execution ground. Is this all you've got? Xiao glanced at the vast, serene space of the sacred hall, which was suddenly contracting. Countless white flames and holy points of light slowly drew closer, as if they were trying to devour him. Xiao understood that while demonic power was formidable, with his own strength, if not for the suppression from the flame mantra and the Emperor's flame ring, he would have truly turned into a demon. At that point, he would possess unstoppable power, but becoming a demon would be a betrayal of his cultivation's original intent. However, the one facing him was just a 2-winged patrolling angel. Who would emerge victorious was yet to be decided. The otherworldly presence made Xiao extraordinarily cautious. His dark green demonic armor sensed a trace of fear, and bursts of evil black mist began to form, surrounding and protecting him. Since you want to devour me, then let me help you devour. After thinking for a long while, Xiao pupils filled with a profound depth. Then, the demonic power around him suddenly dissipated, and a cold snort, filled with madness, spread outward. Not good. As Xiao voice faded, Maekar's expression finally changed. Her beautiful eyes locked onto Xiao, who had been banished to the dimensional judgment sanctuary. At this moment, Xiao demonic armor had faded, and he seemed no different from a dead man. But it was this very feeling that caused a rare wave of horror to spread in Maekar, a being of her level. Explode! Xiao voice, like a thunderclap, seemed to pierce through endless space, ringing in Maekar's ears. Boom! As soon as Xiao words were spoken, his body violently expanded, and streams of dark green blood mist erupted, completely pouring out. The holy light points and white flames that had been devouring Xiao Yan's released aura could no longer hold their ground and began to thin out. At that moment, the previously majestic and solemn sacred hall was stained with countless dark green blood mist, transforming into a scene of hell, ominously cold, with a bloodthirsty and evil aura overwhelming everything. The blood mist, thick enough to block the sun, endlessly erupted from Xiao Yan's body. The holy light points from the heavenly river, like defeated soldiers, quickly dissolved, while the white flames falling from Meikar's angelic wings exploded upon contact with the demonic blood mist, scattering like dust. Within the dimensional sanctuary, the endless blood mist spiraled, like an infinite abyss. Every time the mist appeared, the grand hall shook with violent force. Ah! Not long after, within the light barrier, Meikar roared in anger. His voice, high-pitched and powerful, pierced through the entire sky, shaking the hearts of countless humans below. Meikar! Just as Meikar let out his furious roar, Xiao Yan's figure suddenly returned from the dimension's sacred hall to the void, surrounded by demonic blood mist still spreading around him. His voice was chilling to the bone. You are a heretic. You are a demon. I, the patrolling angel Meikar, will never allow you to survive. At this moment, Meikar was in great turmoil, his chest rising and falling slowly, his tone growing more agitated. His angelic wings behind him fluttered violently, and more powerful auras began to emanate. That just now was the true demon. Xiao Yan chuckled as he watched Meikar, amused. Did he really think that with the holy power of light, he could pass judgment on him? Did he believe that by banishing him to another dimension, locking him in the Grand Judgment's sacred hall, with countless lights and sacred flames, he would be devoured? He was wrong. In that critical moment just now, Xiao Yan did not suppress the demonic power within him. The unleashed demonic force was like a gateway to hell, a torrent of endless evil blood mist erupting, completely destroying the Judgment's sacred hall. Angels? Holy power? Against his most sinister, most evil demonic force, they were like a helpless 3-year-old child. Ha ha ha. Demon, this is what you forced me into, and it's your own doing. Seeing the mocking expression on Xiao Yan's face, Meikar suddenly went mad. As a patrolling angel, Meikar's strength might not be at the pinnacle of the great thousand worlds, but with his status, who would dare to show him such contempt? Now, after repeatedly having his dignity trampled by Xiao Yan, Meikar had finally lost his temper. Meikar's face twisted in rage, his pupils filled with madness, as if this world had already been abandoned, and he was the executor sent to destroy this land's time. Meikar's long black hair turned white in an instant, a pure, flawless white. His pupils also turned white, and the light barrier in the sky seemed to be called upon, with countless light patterns slowly wriggling towards him. Are you using power beyond your limits? At this moment, Xiao Yan's pupils deepened in unison. Although he had already known that Meikar intended to annihilate all the humans here, Xiao Yan did not expect that Meikar was actually brewing a forbidden technique. Forbidden technique. Two seemingly insignificant words represented the pinnacle of power in the world. While ordinary immortal arts and forbidden techniques both belong to the same category, Xiao Yan knew that the power of a forbidden technique could easily surpass multiple immortal arts. This is your doing. Anyway, I don't like this land much, so let's destroy it together. Meikar's pupils flashed with a deranged smile. His hand continued its motions, preparing and executing the forbidden technique, drawing upon even greater power. A thin stream of bright red blood spread from his fingertips. Then, a powerful light barrier erupted from the angelic wings on his back, protecting him. With the blood light at his fingertips, he etched obscure, ancient patterns onto the barrier. That was the unmistakable aura of a forbidden technique. This lunatic. Xiao Yan watched Meikar and couldn't help but feel his pupils turn ashen. He had witnessed the power of forbidden techniques back in the soul domain. Even in the highest realms like the soul domain, once a forbidden technique was unleashed, the land within 1,000 miles would be scorched, barren, and utterly lifeless. The land itself would rot, leaving behind a region uninhabitable by humans, one that would likely remain so for 100 or 1,000 years. The most concerning thing was that beneath the crumbling rocks and soil below, there were hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. If the forbidden technique really fell, the consequences would be unimaginable. The fractured void was becoming increasingly eerie due to Meikar's sudden actions, as if this warm land was being dragged inch by inch toward a palace of death, darkness, cold, lifeless. In contrast, Xiao Yan's demonic armor reappeared, and the demonic shadow behind him surged forth once again. The demonic blood within him boiled like never before. He had to stop her. He had to stop the forbidden technique from descending. Is this the scent of a forbidden technique? Below, the Emperor, watching the scene with the patrolling angel, couldn't help but inhale sharply. "Father, what is a forbidden technique?" Lin Yunshu asked in a low voice. "That is the exclusive title of the Holy See. However, a forbidden technique is more than just a level. It's a symbol of both status and power. A forbidden technique is similar to immortal arts above the sacred level of our great thousand worlds, but within the same level, forbidden techniques carry more authority." The Emperor spoke with a complex expression, clearly not expecting that Meikar had mastered forbidden techniques. For example, the light demon from back then was a powerful being capable of independently casting forbidden techniques, much like the current Meikar, who could only perform such techniques by relying on some external force. But even so, once the forbidden technique was unleashed, the 1,000-mile void wrapped in a light barrier would likely be reduced to nothing in an instant. This is the power of a forbidden technique. Is there any other way? Lin Yunshu also sensed a will to die from the Emperor's grim expression. There shouldn't be. Once a forbidden technique descends, this place will likely be reduced to a true hell, and everyone within the barrier, all the humans, will be completely annihilated. The Emperor spoke softly. "Gather all the remaining generals, soldiers, and Dosian-level experts. This time, we may only rely on us," the Emperor said, before the three disappeared. In the sky, Meikar's aura continued to gather and evolve. A faint sense of unease spread across the entire light barrier, filling the hearts of countless humans. The once clear and bright void turned cold and desolate. The divine power of the angels surrounding Meikar was so powerful that even with Xiao Yan's demonic power, it could not be broken for the time being. Therefore, Xiao Yan did not waste time and stood proudly in the sky. Now, there's probably only one move left to try, Xiao Yan thought, a more terrifying madness spreading within him. Demons, the most sinister and evil, are powers beyond the comprehension of the great thousand worlds. The sacred flame, supremely holy, is truly a treasure of the great thousand worlds. In the Doqi Sea within Xiao Yan's body, the amber-colored sacred flame crystal slowly appeared in his palm. Ever since the demonic power entered his body, pulling him back from the brink of death, the sacred flame's power was suppressed back into the Doqi Sea by the demonic energy. "Since you're so disrespectful, then let's see. This time, I will send you on your way," Xiao Yan said coldly. The dark green demonic power and the amber-colored sacred flame merged to form a new sacred flame, surging in both of his hands. One hand held the amber flame soul fire, a sacred flame capable of burning everything and purifying evil, ranked within the top 15 on the sacred flame ranking. The other hand wielded the dark green power, cold and evil, the only existence of its kind in this world, the newly born demonic energy. The fusion of the sacred flame and the demonic power. Who knew what it would become? But when these two terrifying forces appeared, Xiao Yan's heart surged with excitement. And deep within, a strange intuition told Xiao Yan that this fusion might overturn his understanding, and perhaps even be stronger than the previous Buddha's fury reincarnation. Of course, if he couldn't endure the torment during the fusion, or if the demonic power and the sacred flame couldn't merge, Xiao Yan would only be digging his own grave. In the end, Xiao Yan was gambling with his life. Meikar was also gambling. Xiao Yan slowly adjusted his breathing, waiting for the two energies to reach a balance before he would initiate the fusion. As Meikar continued to evolve the forbidden techniques patterns, A series of long chants emerged from his mouth. These chants turned into countless high-pitched Sanskrit sounds, transforming the entire light barrier into a lifeless zone of death. This battle would be the final one, and it would become a battle that the people of the Tianxing continent would never forget. Below the rocky walls, in a narrow underground shelter, the dim light, thin air, and crowded people, over 1,000, made this place eerily quiet. To all the Imperial Guard soldiers and high-ranking members of the royal family, Lin Yunshu stood on a rock, speaking indifferently, while the emperor silently knelt behind her. "Your Majesty, give the order." "There are no cowards on Tianxing continent," the princess' voice echoed, and as soon as she finished speaking, murmurs rose from the crowd. Even in the underground shelter, they could clearly see everything happening outside through a crystal ball. In the sky, the demon Xiao was fighting the angel to protect the already war-torn land. The legendary demon, who was despised and reviled, and the angel, holy beyond measure, maintaining the order of the world. What they saw now, however, was an angel trying to cast a forbidden technique to destroy the land for his own selfish purposes, and a demon, battered and scarred, unwilling to give up and desperately fighting back. Who, then, was the demon, and who was the angel? The answer had already become clear in the minds of these people. Every time they looked through the crystal ball at the battle between the demon and the angel, their hearts were shaken. Tears uncontrollably fell as they watched the struggle unfold. The demon Xiaoyan's power had surpassed the heavens and the earth. But he didn't, because he was the lord of the boundless fire domain, and he was personally invited by Her Highness the Princess to be their ally. With all these factors in mind, Xiaoyan's figure had already become an untouchable legend in their hearts. Looking at the unyielding momentum of the demon Xiaoyan, they too wished they could rush out and fight the angels head-on, even if it meant being torn to pieces. Watching the unshakable figure of the demon Xiaoyan, something deep inside their hearts was struck with great force. In this land, their wives and children lived. They had to stand at the front lines, and Xiaoyan's existence was their last line of defense. Elite soldiers of the Imperial Guard. Right now the angels are trying to use forbidden techniques to destroy the very foundation of our survival. Lord Xiaoyan is our final line of defense. Pick up your weapons and fight alongside me. The princess spoke with fiery passion. Kill, kill, kill. The overwhelming aura filled the air with an unprecedented intensity. Those with wives and children stepped forward. Seeing this, Lin Yunshu felt somewhat comforted, and her voice softened slightly. Swish, swish. For reasons unknown, the princess made this command, yet hundreds of soldiers instinctively stepped forward. Those with children but no wives stepped forward. Lin Yunshu gave a light wave of her hand and spoke again. Swish, swish. Nearly half of the crowd moved forward, puzzled as to why the princess was making such requests in the face of such a crisis. Those with elderly parents stepped forward. Lin Yunshu spoke once more. Ho! As Lin Yunshu's voice fell, among the Imperial Guard and higher-ranking officers, only 1/10, the elderly, quietly remained in place. You, stay where you are. The future of the Tianxing continent is in your hands. This battle will have life and death. Those who follow this princess will be honored as founding heroes after death. Those willing, come and fight with this princess. Let us defend our homeland together. The princess, content with her command, held Jixin's hand. The power of the stars slowly spread from her forehead and enveloped the dozens of unburdened souls present. Without looking back, she strode forward, filled with a fearless resolve, heading for the horizon. This was likely a one-way trip, with no hope of survival. Damn it! How can a woman lead us to fight for survival? Aren't we men supposed to be the ones doing this? Lord Xiaoyan and the princess are so kind-hearted. We are not cold-blooded individuals. Let's fight the filthy angels. Swear to protect our homeland with our lives. As they spoke, voices of overwhelming determination formed a great wave that echoed through the refuge. With each shout, tens of thousands of people, from the powerless women to the infants in swaddling clothes, left the shelter and headed for the outside world. This was their home, and the angels sought to destroy it. They would give everything to protect it, even if it meant their souls would be wiped out. The sheer might of the hundreds of thousands of soldiers formed an atmosphere that was truly terrifying. In the sky, the demon Xiao Yan's palm held a small, flickering orb of dark green and amber light, violently pulsating at the center of his hand. Though it was no bigger than a dragon's eye, each beat made the sky tremble with unease. Light Kingdom's pious sorrow. At that moment, Meikar's forbidden technique quietly reached its completion, and behind him, a towering, transparent, and sacred palace, like a death hall, stood silently. Because of the time and the limitations of power, this could only be considered a half-forbidden technique, but the power contained within it was truly suffocating. Splash! The ominous, holy orb was forcefully thrown by Xiao Yan. In that instant, the world fell silent, and the light barrier trembled violently, as if it could shatter at any moment. Demon, it's over. This is your judgment, the punishment sent by the angels. Meikar's cold, sacred voice spread, and behind him, a massive building imbued with golden energy suddenly descended. The sensation was like a child standing before a towering pillar reaching for the heavens. The pressure, the overwhelming aura, made one feel a soul-deep fear. Since you've come to erase me, be prepared. I will tear off your angel mask and see whether the angel soul is truly pure. Explode. As the strange orb collided with the magnificent building, Xiao Yan's voice, colder than ever, rang out. Two forces beyond limits surged forth, and the sky above exploded uncontrollably. This battle had finally reached its end. The solemn, sacred palace, like a round moon falling from the sky, descended to the mortal realm with an irresistible divine aura. Behind Meikar, towering and magnificent buildings that stretched tens of thousands of feet trembled slightly, and small fragments began to fall to the ground. What kind of brilliance was this? Could the power of a single human truly be so overwhelming that it left one in awe? A force so great it could draw upon all the energy in the heavens and the earth. Within this light barrier, riddled with countless cracks, mountains hummed and vibrated. The sun in the sky seemed to have drained all its nourishment. All the beings inside the barrier appeared to be slowly withering away, their strength completely drained by Meikar. Attack! The hundreds of thousands of humans who had emerged from the refuge gazed at the strange and evil orb in the sky, about to collide with the forbidden technique temple. A sourness filled their nostrils as their pupils turned red. Battle chi surged within their bodies. Whether Do Di or Do Xian, they all shot toward the sky in a wave of explosive power. For a moment, a colossal tidal wave of energy, with countless divergent forces, surged toward the orb. Even if this power seemed insignificant, even if, in Meikar's eyes, it was nothing more than a weak attack, for the sake of the homes behind them, none of them would retreat at this moment. Forbidden technique? Explode. As they watched the sacred temple slowly descend from the sky, Xiao Yan's demon armor shattered in an instant, and the demonic power within him rapidly faded. Even Xiao Yan's battle chi, sacred flame, and soul power became sluggish. What had seemed like a simple act, but the fusion of demonic power and sacred flame was a shocking display. No less dangerous than walking through the gates of death and barely returning. Only Xiao Yan truly understood the terrifying power within that strange orb. Boom! In the blink of an eye, the strange evil orb and the forbidden technique temple collided silently. Demon, perish! As the forbidden technique descended, Meikar stood high above, her angelic wings flapping behind her. The entire light barrier crackled with thunder and lightning, the winds and clouds shifting violently. It had become almost indistinguishable from real hell. There was no vitality left, and even the plants, flowers, and trees showed extreme signs of withering, their colors darkening to deep gray. Their energy had been stolen by Meikar, all funneled into the Forbidden Technique Temple. The Forbidden Technique Temple was complex, yet its golden sacred patterns seemed like the divine inscriptions of an angel, carefully engraved to imprison all the world's evil. Boom, boom, boom. As the two forces made contact, endless holy light descended. Within that holy light, countless divine auras spread out, and any mountain or tree struck by it was instantly obliterated. Bloom. As the forbidden technique temple pressed down, wrapping the evil orb in a tight encirclement, it felt like the orb was trapped in a death palace, sealed by countless holy chains, unable to escape its shackles. But what of that? Wasn't the combination of demons and sacred flame more powerful than just this? Crash! Xiao Yan's voice echoed, as though he had exhausted his last ounce of strength. On his arm, the demon blade gleamed with unparalleled evil. With one final leap, he used his last remaining power to shoot toward the angel, aiming to slay her. It's over. The demon will end. Poof! Boom! Maykar revealed a sinister smile at the corner of her mouth. Just as she opened her mouth to speak, she saw, before her, within the vast forbidden technique temple, a strange orb bloomed like a stunning firework, exploding with a sudden, violent burst. With the explosion of this strange orb, waves of amber sacred flame and dark green demonic power erupted, releasing their accumulated rage. The sacred flame, in terms of divine aura, was not inferior to angelic power. When combined with the demonic energy, Maykar's heart contracted in fear. Her heartbeat quickened, a chill creeping into her soul. The forbidden technique had also drained all her energy, and now, the outcome of this battle would be decided once and for all. Impossible. Be destroyed. As the blinding light of the evil orb, trapped within the sacred temple, kept blooming and expanding, it quickly grew so powerful that the forbidden technique temple could no longer resist. It seemed like the next moment, it would shatter the temple entirely. Maykar began to panic, her angelic wings uncontrollably flapping violently, and waves of holy white angelic power surged, injecting angel feathers as they flew. Maykar, you are unforgivable. Let your life serve as an offering to the innocent humans who died at your hands. Xiao Yan's icy killing intent swept across the sky. His entire body tensed as the only demonic arrow on his arm shot out like a crossbow bolt, heading straight for her. Above in the sky, the half-completed forbidden technique temple barely withstood for a moment before it shattered, unable to bear the force of the evil orb. And that light barrier was completely shattered by the evil orb. I am an angel. You cannot kill me. Otherwise, the holy sea will never let you go. Ha ha ha. Demon, this time, I still win. Next time we meet, I, Maykar, will make sure to avenge today's humiliation. Maykar laughed maniacally as he saw Xiao Yan's power dwindle, knowing he only had one final strike left. Although he was now at his last breath, Maykar knew that with Xiao Yan's current state, the demonic arrow could erase him. However, there was no longer enough strength in Xiao Yan to lock onto him, giving him a chance to escape using his angel wings. In the end, Maykar had won today, but he also realized that he had been overconfident. Not good. Xiao Yan was too fast, but it was already too late to chase after Maykar. He had no strength left to change his position while controlling the demonic arrow. If the angel escaped now, it could bring unimaginable disaster, not just to the boundless fire domain, but also to the Tianxing continent. Stars. Sacred prison. Minor immortal art. Realm of wood, sacred wall. Heavenly snow lock. At that moment, from the void below, a series of roars and growls, as if from violent, bloodthirsty beasts, reverberated through the air. The overwhelming power surged like a tidal wave, instantly locking Maykar in place. Buzz. Seeing this, Lin Yunshu, surrounded by the power of the stars, formed a magnificent starry holy palace, and with the power of the emperor, a wood attribute sacred wall, directly imprisoned Maykar, rendering him unable to move an inch. Star blessing. Xiao Yan, we cannot kill the angel. Please make your move. Please, Lord Xiao Yan, destroy the true demon. From the vast sea of black below, countless voices rose in unison. Buzz. The dazzling star power around Lin Yunshu unraveled, slowly circling around Xiao Yan, healing his many wounds. It enveloped him like a starry sacred garment, pushing his aura to its peak once more. With the power of the angel's blessing, the the body was unshakable by humans. But for Xiao Yan, it was not so. The emerald-green demonic arrow on Xiao Yan's body gleamed brightly, and the dark aura around him, amplified by the starry sacred garment, grew from faint to intense. Go to hell and repent. With the starry sacred garment enhancing his strength, Xiao Yan's power surged once more. His body trembled as he fired the demonic arrow without pause, piercing through Mei Kar's angelic form. Even though she had angel wings and angelic power protecting her, under the force of Xiao Yan's demonic arrow, her body was no different from a piece of thin paper. Boom, boom, boom. The demonic arrow pierced Mei Kar completely, and blood poured from her body. Even now, she still could not believe that she was dying at the hands of a nameless individual. Such a filthy soul doesn't deserve to be anything but food for the demons. Disappear completely. Xiao Yan's words echoed, and the amber flame soul fire surged forth, wrapping the last bit of light within Mei Kar's body, burning it until nothing remained. Let your blood restore this space. After completely annihilating Mei Kar's body and soul, Xiao Yan used the remaining blood to wrap it in sacred flame. With the assistance of his sacred flame power, it fell like holy rain, repairing the void that had been stained by the angel's blood, gradually returning it to peace. Even the void, which was riddled with holes, was completely healed by the sacred angel's blood. After completing this, Xiao Yan's power collapsed, and the demonic force vanished, as if he were an ordinary man, falling from the heavens. This time, it's finally done. Xiao Yan mumbled faintly as his eyelids grew heavy, and in the next moment, he fell unconscious. Little one, you are the hero of Tianxing continent. The emperor carefully caught Xiao Yan's falling figure and couldn't help but speak. Lord Xiao Yan. Then, hundreds of thousands of humans, their voices booming in unison, let out a long and resonant roar that echoed through the sky, not fading for a long time. Clearly, Xiao Yan now held a position in their hearts far above that of the emperor and the princess.